How the game should be played, but their footballing pedigree is very different. Glenn Hoddle played at the highest level, at home and abroad.
Oh, a beautiful goal! A long one by Atkinson.
Ron Atkinson, number 4, had a good long throw and was a respected player in the lower divisions. But as a manager, he's already reached the heights Hoddle did as a player. Both men have won the FA Cup twice, both would like to make it 3, but both would like to win it with a certain style.
Basically, players can pass the ball, and if you ask them to do that, they'll prove it to you. Even sides that have been the long ball team have been changed, and within that same 11 players, you know, they've changed and come into a very good passing team. It's happened here at Swindon in the past, and I just think we owe that to the players, and we owe that to football itself. And I think the public want to see a good passing team.
Well, I think there's a lot of functional football played. And has been played for a while now, and it's, you know, it's highly effective, very difficult to play against. But you know, if the game is going to progress, I would guess at national level, then you've got to produce players, try and produce players who are comfortable on the ball, and who can, if need be, show class and show arrogance.
Do you think it's easy sometimes to try and nullify good players and good teams because you can take a more direct approach and a more cautious approach?
I think you can cancel good players out by that, but then I think it's how good a player is it. You know, if a player is a good player or a great player, then he will adapt. I mean, I take for argument's sake, I mean, whatever system is played against a game involving Brian Robson, Robbo can deal with it. Paul Gascoigne can deal with it. I mean, because they have the ability to stamp their authority on games.
The qualities Hoddle and Atkinson seek can undoubtedly turn a game.
Hoddle with a beautiful piece of skill. What a magnificent goal by Glenn Hoddle.
But Swindon's young manager knows a compromise has to be made too.
There's two sides to the game. There's a defensive side, and a good player knows when to... You know, I say to the players, I judge a good player sometimes when he puts it in row Z, because there's a time and a place to do that. But I'm saying that the outlook, the majority of what you're looking to play, how to play the game, and what you want from your players and your team is a passing game, surely. I mean, that's what the game must be about. If it's not about that, then I think the kids, if they see this, another type of game where you're just giving the ball away in an area, you know, 80 yards up the pitch and try and win it back up there, I think kids will go on to play golf and tennis and rugby if that's the case, and football will be dead.
Productive flair. I mean, I didn't get too many problems when I had the likes of sort of, shall we say, Cunningham, Strachan, you know, Stevie Coppell. I mean, they were productive. They were good players, could attack defenders, but they produced, and that's what I keep stressing. I mean, we've got 2 boys now, like we've got Tony Daly, who absolutely is unstoppable on his day. Now, I ain't too sure when his day is. I mean, he knows that. I mean, he should be first name down on Graham Taylor's England sheet, and I'm sure he would be, and Graham Taylor would know this when he was manager here, if he produced that high level of consistency, and produced, i.e. produced crosses or scored goals. We've got another kid up front, I think he's going to be a hell of a player, Yorkie.
They certainly are showing, York and Daly in particular, their ability to go at defenders, and they're loving every minute of it, the 2 wide players.
Ron Atkinson says Dwight York and Tony Daly are 2 young players that keep his enthusiasm for the game at such a high level. York's hat-trick against Derby in round 4 helped set up Sunday's game. Gary Parker's long-range strike only reinforced the quality that will be on show. In a game of contrasting styles, Swindon beat Cambridge in round 4. Duncan Shearer demonstrated his own direct style in finishing. And Swindon's currently injured player-manager thinks there's more to come.
I think this year I've got a sneaky feeling that there's a second division side going all the way to Wembley. There's enough good second division sides still in the cup, and it would be lovely if it's Swindon. Obviously, we've got to get rid of Villa on Sunday and big run first of all, but I'm looking forward to that. But if we get through that into the quarterfinals, who knows? If you get another home draw, you've got a hell of a chance.
How far are you away from playing?
I'm still a good month away. I need probably about 4 or 5 reserve games, but I'm back training. I've had a week's training, so I need a couple of weeks' training, and then I'll get back into action in the reserves.
You'll be fit in time for the cup final?
Well, that would be a nice thought, wouldn't it? Yeah. Perhaps it would be the cup final and the playoffs at the same time.
I mean, we'll go to Swindon, not to try and hang on to it, because we're no good. We're hopeless at trying to hang on. We never draw a game, or hardly draw a game anyway. We've got to go and try and beat them first time out.
live match on Sunday. I saw Big Ron play a lot, you know.
Any comment?
No, not really.
As Aston Villa come to the county ground, and tomorrow in Nottingham, Jimmy Lumsden's City seek revenge and a chance to turn their season around. Then Hoddle agrees. Hoddle's preparing his men to take on a famous club that's won the cup several times.
Yes, yeah, it's a big game for us, yeah, live on television as well. It's obviously, it's going to be a good atmosphere at the county ground for sure, but I think the tie is nicely balanced, the fact that we're at home.
Looking at their front line, they've got these speed merchants, haven't they? Dwight York, Tony Daly. Now, is this something you will pay specific attention to in the planning?
Well, I don't think you can pay too much attention to it because in the fact that they're quick, and you know they're quick. You can try and plan a few things to try and cut the balls to them at source, really. That's what we're trying to do. But if somebody's quick, you can't stop them. You know, you've got to live with that, and you've got to tactically be aware of that. That's all we can do, really.
A lot of publicity this season about your front men, and quite rightly too. Let's have a look at these good guys at the back who do a solid job. Sean Taylor, tell us a bit about him.
Well, Big Sean's been, he's settled nicely into the side through pre-season, and last year when I first arrived, we definitely lacked somebody in the defence who was dominant in the air. And Sean, you know, this is exactly what Sean's main game is. He's terrific in the air, he's nice and strong, he loves to go and win everything in the air, sometimes too much. But we've worked on his all-round game really, and he's come on a bomb really. He's started to pass the ball how we want him to pass the ball, and just be a part of the jigsaw when we've got the ball. We don't want him to pull up the trees or anything. Just do a nice little job with the ball, and obviously go and be dominant in defence.
And Colin Calderwood, what a good professional.
Well, Colin's been probably the most consistent player the club's had for many a year, and the lad's improving all the time. His touch on the ball and the things he's doing now with the ball, I think he's surprising himself. But we've given him the licence to do that, and he's shown that he's got the ability.
Looking at the two sides as a whole then, Glenn, what do you think might be the key factor to decide this one?
I think it's whoever's going to take their chances in the end of the day. I think both teams are good footballing sides, and there'll be a lot of good football play. And I think at the end of the day, the match will be won who takes their chances. I think there'll be chances created at both ends. One, like you've said, the pace that they've got. Two, the way we play cause people problems, and I think it's going to be down to who takes the chances.
How do you see that one going?
I think a lot depends on the pitch, Roger, because if it's heavy, which it looks like it might be with all the rain we've had and we're forecast more, it's not going to be easy to pass the ball on it. But Aston Villa have got good passes in there as well. Kevin Richardson, Gary Parker, they signed from Notts Forest. I think it's going to be very, very open because Aston Villa do let you play and they encourage teams to play against them.
You've played against some speed merchants in your time. How do you stop these quick guys like Daly?
Chop the legs off. Difficult, but I think as he says, you've got to stop the supply. And you basically, I think your goalkeeper plays an important part for you in the game on Sunday, for the Swindon's goalkeeper, because if he pushes on the edge of his box for balls that are played through, he's got to be ready. A bit like Grobbelaar does for Liverpool, act as a sweeper.
Result forecast?
Oh, here we go again. Draw.
Draw?
Please.
OK, replay then, why not? As the Wiltshire club gave Aston Villa a tremendous contest in that FA Cup tie at the county ground. As the teams came out for this fifth round tie, a full house of 16,400 gave them a tremendous welcome, and the quality of the football did not disappoint. Swindon made the chances, but Aston Villa were to get the goals, beginning with Dwight York's excellent shot now. He combined with Parker and then let fly there, and a slight deflection helped beat Hammond in the Swindon goal. Well, after the interval, the First Division boys went further ahead with another inspired piece of finishing from Stephen Froggatt. Now, besides that goal, young Froggatt, a player to keep an eye on, I can tell you. A future international may be for England. But Swindon were to put together the best scoring move of the match. Lovely build-up between Hazard and Bodin, setting up David Mitchell. The mark of an excellent goal when the finish looks easy. Villa held on for the victory, but as Swindon's outstanding player, Mickey Hazard, was to claim, his team had deserved a better result.
Without question, yeah, I think it was difficult to tell who was the First Division side out there, and I'm sure most people would agree that we look more like a First Division side than Villa, but all credit to them. They put the 2 goals away fantastic and defended very well.
What's the feeling in the dressing room?
One of total despondency, having dominated the game. We really felt that we should have come away with a victory, but we didn't, and we have to learn from our mistakes here today. We let them get 2 goals, although all credit, they stuck them away fantastic, but again, we let them get them, and we didn't stick our chances away.
Swindon's credibility as promotion contenders to try and get in that Premier League for next season, not at all damaged in my book by that super Aston Villa. As Glenn Hoddle acknowledged his Swindon team had looked the equal of one of the First Division's leading clubs, his playmaker was revealing his hopes for Swindon to win a regular place amongst the elite.
Well, my personal opinion is that I've played against every team in the second division this season, and without a shadow of a doubt, we're the best team. No question about it, but unfortunately, the best team doesn't always get the rewards that they sometimes deserve. And it's up to us to make sure that we do. We're just starting a little run in the league again, and we've got to try and build on that. And we've got Grimsby away, and then we've got 2 home games to come. So it's a must that we pick up 9 points of that to keep right back in the frame there and push for that second spot, because it looks like Blackburn are running away with it at the moment.
When you say best side, you mean best footballing side?
The best footballing side, without a doubt. We went to Blackburn 2 weeks ago and totally and utterly played them off the park and come away losing 2-1 to 2 goals in the last 40 minutes.
What are the areas that they've just got to improve on to clinch it?
Well, I think we have to be stronger mentally when we're in front. We have to kill teams off. I mean, at Blackburn we're 1-0 up, totally and utterly dominating, creating chances, and because of a couple of lapses of concentration, they get 2 goals, really against the run of play. And this is something that we have to improve on. We have to be alert defensively when we're attacking, because it seems that when we're on the attack, we're at our most vulnerable defensively. And if we can improve on that, then there's no end to what we can achieve.
Nice to see the playmaker so confident.
Yeah, he speaks a lot of sense there, Roger, he really does. And you speak to a lot of the managers in the second division, they say that Swindon are the best footballing team. But again, as he rightly says, it doesn't necessarily mean that they'll get promotion.